restaurant from the east. The courtyard is a treasure of traditional Chinese architecture, carrying a deep cultural heritage and family emotions. The courtyard inherits the family warmth and cultural memory of thousands of years. Walk into the courtyard and feel the charm of Chinese culture. The courtyard is deep and delicious. Come to the Courtyard Restaurant and meet a date between taste buds and nature. The decoration of the restaurant is unique, creating a unique atmosphere. Are you still worried about finding delicious food? Come to Sun Valley to meet all your expectations. On one side of the courtyard, a tree with flowers and a table of delicious food. Everything in the world, only delicious food and beautiful scenery can be lived up to. Sun Valley, a wonderful journey for taste buds. Here, every dish is a carefully cooked work of art. From the selection of fresh ingredients, to the unique cooking skills, to the exquisite arrangement, all of them show our persistence and love for food. Entering our restaurant, you will be attracted by the Sun Valley. Whether it is warm lights, comfortable seats, or unique decoration, it will create a relaxing and pleasant dining environment for you. Our service team is warm and thoughtful, always paying attention to your needs and making you feel at home. Come to Sun Valley and let delicious food and beauty meet. Address Gurey, next to Mary Queen Church. Order phone number 09-280-76300. In the beautiful Juba, there is a courtyard restaurant.
Driving in demanding environments can make your engine work harder, adding stress to all the internal components, making them wear out more quickly. Engine combustion produces ash and other deposits that can form a sludge, blocking vital oilways and restricting oil flow throughout your engine. ADNOC Voyager is specially formulated to guard against sludge buildup by cleaning your engine. ADNOC Voyager is certified by major car manufacturers and is engineered for optimum performance, ensuring maximum protection throughout the life of your engine. ADNOC Voyager. Drive with confidence.
Government and Afrexim Bank agreed to delay the court case of the bank's payment arrears. South Sudan appeals for lifting of arms embargo and individual sanctions. And journalists are called upon to provide public with accurate information in Western Bahr el Ghazal. Hello, a very good afternoon from wherever you are tuned from. My name is Duku Wilson with the news. The government and African Export-Import Bank, Afrexim, have agreed to hold on the court case regarding the payment of arrears to the bank by South Sudan. The agreement comes in a meeting between the Vice President for Economic Cluster, Dr. Benjamin Bolmel, and the bank's delegation headed by the Group Managing Director of Risk Management and Chief Risk Officer, Dr. Elias Kamugaya, in the capital, Juba. The Finance Ministry's First Under Secretary, Arop Noi Arop, in a statement says the meeting also discussed deepening collaboration between the African Export-Import Bank and South Sudan's government, with the bank's Group Managing Director, Dr. Elias, acknowledges the prevailing financial challenges faced by the country caused by the 2013 conflict and disruption in South Sudan's oil production, which he attributes to the ongoing war in the neighboring Sudan, adding that they have agreed to delay the court case on the payment of arrears by South Sudan until further notice.
It was a very good meeting in which we discussed a lot of issues regarding the outstanding arrears that is not paid to Afrexim Bank. We had a good understanding, and they have agreed that they are not going to continue with the court case. And also we have discussed a lot on also the investment in the areas of livestock and also the mining. And then they have reaffirmed their support to the government of South Sudan, and they will continue in partnership with the government of South Sudan.
We understand the challenges that have befell the government of South Sudan, the flooding that affected the oil wells, the force majeure on account of the civil war in Sudan that impacted the ability for South Sudan to export oil. And we have had a good conversation. We acknowledge and thank His Excellency Salva Kiir for the appointment of the Vice President and Chair of the Economic Cluster. We commend him for the committee that he set up that's done a good work. And from the conversations that we had today, we went away comfortable that the government is clear on its priorities, but also the solutions that need to be put in place, not just to service our facility, but also to improve the ability to raise revenues and foreign currency to meet their budget requirements. From that conversation, I think we walk away comfortable that there is a solution, and it gives us the opportunity to further delay taking action out of the court case and judgment that we do have, because we believe that there's an amicable
The Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management, Albino Akola Tak, has reaffirmed government's continued steadfast dedication to delivering relief assistance to the vulnerable populations in Ulang and Nasir counties in Upper Nile State and other parts of the country. Minister made the assurance after briefing Vice President Rebecca Nyandengde Mabior on the country's humanitarian situation exacerbated by the global funding cuts.
I came to brief her on the activities that took place when she was away. The first area that I briefed her was the impact of the reduction in the cut of funding from our partners and from the donors. This impact went far to reach all the sectors of humanitarian, being health, education, wash, and even food security and food support. The impact is about donors reducing their support to the humanitarian operation in South Sudan. And not only one donor, but also about 6 donors that have expressed the reduction. This, of course, attributed to global issues and what is actually attributed to them. The impact, as I brief Her Excellency, needs some strategy to be put in place. One of the strategies is to inform our beneficiaries that this cut will affect the services they have been actually receiving. And we should note that this is something that because of that cut, it is not intended, but it is because of that. The other thing is that we have to come in as the government of South Sudan to fill the gap wherever we can, at the national level, at the state level, the local, and even at the community level. And this time we have to employ self-reliance activities, including improving on agriculture and other livelihood activities that we're supposed to do.
Government has convened with a delegation from the Russian Federation Chamber of Commerce to discuss concretizing cooperation in various sectors that include enhancement of agriculture. During the meeting, the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Hussein Abdelbagi Akol, has assured the delegation of South Sudan's high potential for producing diverse agricultural varieties, emphasizing the country's readiness for foreign investment. Speaking to SSBC, the ministry's Undersecretary Matthew Gordon Odo underscores the need for formal agreements to facilitate investments, a move he says would enable South Sudan and Russian Federation to establish frameworks for mutual benefits.
But what is needed that we have to come into agreement with them to see how they can come and then see the possibility of investing in South Sudan. Then the further step is going to be taken between the technical people of the ministry and presenting to them our area of interest so that we share it together and then come with a letter of agreement between us and them for further consultation and action.
India has pledged to supply veterinary medicines to support South Sudan's livestock sector. Ambassador Anil Notial discloses this in a meeting with the Minister of Livestock and Fisheries, Onyoti Adigo, who briefed him on a number of areas to be supported in the country, including fisheries sector. Adigo stresses the need to improving the livestock sector through cross-breeding and zero grazing, a statement supported by Ambassador Anil Notial, and described livestock sector as important for economic growth.
As we mentioned, we have not less than 36 to 38 million livestock in this country. We need a lot of taken care of. We need to take care of them, the veterinary services, be given to them, even feeding, even to change the quality of our cows so that they become manageable, like the cows of milk or meat. So we need really crossbreeding, and we need zero grazing, which is supposed to happen because our livestock here would actually be the source of community conflict, which we don't want. We need to see that this livestock is more commercialized than at the present moment when they are used for retreat and marriages.
One of the immediate proposal that we have with us is that we have vet doctors available in our peacekeeping mission in South Sudan, and we have also medicines available that we can give to the animals here who need help and support. So for this I requested the Honorable Minister, let us have a joint camp with our doctors, Honorable Minister and myself, one day in near future, where we can go and see the animals and help them in their growth.
Crossing to New York, where South Sudan's ambassador to the United Nations, Cecilia Adut-Manyok, has expressed disappointment over the renewal of the arms embargo and sanctions imposed on individuals by the UN Security Council, stressing the negative impact on the ongoing training of unified forces and the army unification process, a crucial step aimed at conducting general elections in 2026. The Council on May 30, 2025 extended the arms embargo and targeted sanctions on South Sudan until May 30, 2026, citing persistent political instability. With this, South Sudan now appeals for lifting of these sanctions as parties commit to implementation of the revitalized peace agreement. SSBC's Mathiang Joseph reports.
Of accountability, but also risk becoming a barrier to opportunities.
The United Nations Security Council's decision on May 30th, 2025 to renew the arms embargo and targeted sanctions on South Sudan until May 31st, 2026 drew strong objections from Russia and China. The government voices deep disappointment at the resolution, arguing that the continued restrictions hinder national development, harm ordinary citizens, and undermine the peace process. Speaking on behalf of the government, South Sudan's United Nations Permanent Representative Cecilia Adut-Manyok acknowledges and appreciates the support from regional bodies such as the African Union and IGAD, and from member states including China, Russia, Pakistan, Algeria, Sierra Leone, and Somalia. These nations supported a more flexible approach that respects national sovereignty and locally driven peace efforts.
And appreciate the African group and the members of the Council, especially the governments of China, Russia, and Pakistan, for their principal position, solidarity, and consistent engagement during the negotiation process. Your commitment to fairness and your recognition of the importance of nationally driven solutions have not gone unnoticed. Mr. President, while we welcome certain aspects of the resolution, we must express our deep disappointment with the Council's decision to exclude the key proposal meant to enhance and protect the peace process. Our proposal aimed to reinforce the role of the National Unified Forces in implementing the Chapter 2 of the revised agreement, which is the central to the peace architect we are working tirelessly to implement.
The sanctions have been renewed despite the country's ongoing progress in drafting a permanent constitution, unifying the army, conducting a population census, foundational steps towards credible elections at the end of the transitional period. The Council, however, cited risk of a relapse into civil conflict. Beyond political and security implications, the government described the sanctions as a violation of national sovereignty and a major obstacle to economic development in terms of foreign investment, access to credit, and small business development, ultimately affecting the livelihoods of ordinary citizens.
Just a few days ago, I received a message from a young South Sudanese entrepreneur who expressed their frustration that the continued existence of the sanction discourages foreign investors from engaging with his businesses. And I quote, "Thank you so much for taking the time to respond to me despite your job at the UN being so demanding, especially at this crucial time when the people who claim have understood our problems more than us, the South Sudanese, are getting ready to decide how we should live our life. Let it be clear that we are not asking for a blank check. We are asking for a fair opportunity and a balanced approach that supports the efforts of those who are working for peace and economic renewal. Let us not forget that sustainable peace cannot exist without livelihoods, without hope, and without opportunities."
Despite the setback, Cecilia reaffirmed the country's commitment to peace, reform, and international cooperation, underscoring the country's focus on homegrown solutions and national ownership of the peace and development agenda. 6 countries abstained from the vote, expressing regret that the resolution failed to address the lifting of the arms embargo on the necessary unified forces, a critical component of the country's security sector reforms. The arms embargo was originally imposed on South Sudan on July 13, 2018, through Resolution 2428 in response to civil conflict, ceasefire violations, and widespread human rights abuses. Reporting for SSBC News, Mathiang Joseph.
But also risk becoming a barrier.
It's time to go for a short break. Please do stay with us because more stories are still lined up ahead. We are back in a moment. Welcome back from that short break. And moving on, residents of Duke County in Jonglei State turned as Governor Dr. Riek Kok Gai embarks on a 5-day peace mission aimed at promoting social harmony within the community and its neighbors. Addressing a rally, Governor Kok reaffirmed his administration's full commitment to boosting basic service delivery across the state. A member of Transitional National Legislative Assembly representing Duke County, Philip Thornlake, commends the state leadership for restoring peace at the grassroots and urged the communities in Duke County to live peacefully with their neighbors. Jonglei State Peace Building Minister Malwal Gabriel Kon also addressed the rally in Duke County, highlighting the importance of embracing unity.
People, and we have committed ourselves that we will share what we heard and what we have seen with His Excellency the President of the Republic, Salva Kiir Mayardit, and his deputies, with an aim of finding solutions and to institutionalize the engagement between the state government and the people of Duke. We have decided that we are going to form a high-level committee for recovery and rehabilitation and resettlement of people of Duke. That high-level committee is going to be headed by our able elder, Philip Thornlake, who one time led this state and have also enjoyed different capacities in the past, whether before the 1983 War of Revolution, up to date, the directives of His Excellency the President that this year is a year of agriculture for the entire country. And the Commissioner, in collaboration with the National Ministry for Agriculture, is going to dedicate a land of 250,000 in county for mass agriculture, mechanized agriculture.
We are very much pleased with your announcement that you will form a recovery and rehabilitation high-level committee to come up with what has been destroyed in Duke by war, so that the possibilities that are with government can be brought back to its feet. The population of Duke, according to census, we were not counted all, was 65,700. The enumeration that was done at door and to the door in 2009 revealed that Duke has a resident population of 1,710,330. That population was since displaced. By that time, there was a displaced population of 45,000, and I think now Duke population that is in displacement may be even in 70s or 100.
His Excellency, the Governor, passed message of peace from His Excellency President Salva Kiir Mayardit, President of the Republic. He called on people of Duke County to live in peace with their neighbors, especially people of Ayod, which is the Gawer community, and people of Uror, the Law Nuer community. The Governor also called on the citizens to prioritize agriculture, and also he talked to them on how to consolidate peace with their neighbors, especially the people of Greater Pibor administrative area. He promised the Commissioner and the chiefs that they will be traveling to Wunonanam, where they will spend days with his counterpart, Chief Administrator.
Let's go to Upper Nile State capital Malakal, where a security committee chaired by Governor James Kwang Chol has passed resolutions to boost service delivery. In a statement to SSBC shortly after the meeting, Information Minister Peter Ngojo says the meeting is briefed by the Minister of Cooperatives and Rural Development on police framework and of Minister of Youth, Culture and Sports on sports activities in the state.
Government of Upper Nile we passed the resolution for the last sitting, the fifth sitting of the Council of Ministers. We also today passed the memo presented by the Minister of Cooperatives and Rural Development concerning the policy framework. We all passed it. We also passed a memo presented by the Minister of Culture, Youth and Sports about the sports activities in the state. We also deliberated and discussed the issue presented by the Minister of Trade and Industry about the relocation of the Directorate of Investment to his ministry, and this one was left as it is because it is above the powers of the state ministries. Today's sitting was really very fruitful and positive.
Okay. The Ministries of Gender, Child and Social Welfare from across 10 states are set to sign a memorandum of understanding on fixing child protection strategies, a significant move to meeting its target of response and mitigation against the forms of abuses. More in the following report by Abate Simon Godo.
Local initiatives are featured as the best intervention tool aiming to improving welfare of diversity for young children. The Minister of Central Equatoria State for Gender, Child and Social Welfare, Gentia Elojai, calls for capacity building support to narrow the capacity gap, especially ability to maintain consistency reporting and data collection.
فيهم تتقام نايمين في البرندات في الدكاكين، في أطفال تحت الكباري نايمين. فعشان كده الناشط الاجتماعي الناشط العامل الاجتماعي هو الدور بتاعه مهم جدا عشان يقدر يحصر لنا ذاته عدد بتاع الأطفال دي.
The Minister of Gender, Child and Social Welfare for Upper Nile State, Yusuf Mabek Ajam, calls for support on the child protection awareness and training in emergencies to community leaders and other partners.
الأطفال دي جينا عملناه وهسه شغالين مع واحدة من المنظمات إنه عشان إحنا نقدر الأطفال المتشردين، الأطفال اللي بيكونوا حديثي الولادة اللي بيكون بغيض، اللي بيكون ما عنده معول، نقدر نحتويه كحكومة ومع شركائنا نقدر نقدم لهم سبورت. وإحنا متأكدين إنه شغالين يعني مع شركائنا حتى أطفال المتشردين ودول هنعمل لهم تدريب بالذات في المذكرة التفاهم الجديدة دي.
The Minister of Western Baragazali State for Gender, Child and Social Welfare, Elizabeth Mario Masama, calls for support for capacity case management services, vocational skills, mental health, and psychological support to vulnerable children.
أنا من هنا بقول كلام ده للحكومة للمنظمات. أننا نكون جادين كذا ندي مليان ده في محل الخلاص كبير راجل قادر يشتغل يشوفوا محل الشغل اللي كنتوا فيه زي مثلا الورش اللي كنتوا فوق الناس اللي بيتعلموا الصنع ولا يودوهم في يعني مثلا بيقدر خلاص يجندوه على الأقل يلقى شغل عشان يقدر يشيل نفسه ما يخلوه في الشارع لأن المجرمين كتروا في الشارع يعني بيجوا بقلوا من الناس في الشارع وده الوزارة برا ما بيقدر بيقله ده مساعدة بتاعت المنظمات ويد من الحكومة الكوبي عشان نقدر نعمل محل الوزارة في.
The representative of Special Protection Unit in South Sudan National Police Service, Lieutenant Colonel John Gwet, affirms the need of training officers on child care.
You can train our officers and NCOs for investigation, the good quality to be delivered to our citizen in the country. We need this. good training for the NGOs.
The program appeals for collaboration and coordination among government, humanitarian organizations, and community stakeholders for effective realization, response, and mitigation. Abate Simon Godo, SSBC News.
The Western Bahr el Ghazal state launches a 4-day training for journalists as part of the developmental project in public broadcasting in South Sudan. A program funded by the Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA, is being implemented by United Nations Education, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO. In his opening remarks, Western Bahr el Ghazal State Information Minister Samuel Nicola appreciates the efforts of the national government in developing media and infrastructure in the country, calling on journalists to provide accurate information to the public. The director of SSBC branch in Wau, Alor Deng Kor, emphasized the importance of radio in disseminating information in both rural and urban areas, describing United Nations Education, Scientific and Cultural Organizations and Japan International Cooperation Agency as important partners in South Sudan's media industry.
For our communities in Western Bahr el Ghazal State. And also I would like to seize this opportunity to thank the country for taking care of media infrastructure in the country, and we are lucky to be one of the beneficiaries. We all know that radio plays a crucial role in disseminating information, promoting dialogue and fostering unity among our people in Western Bahr el Ghazal, enhancing the skills and knowledge for our radio station staff. We are not only improving the quality of broadcast, but also empowering our communities with accurate and timely information.
دي يعني إنه وقفة الصلبة تشجيع لناس وبالذات في مجال الإعلام والصحافة عشان يكون في تنظيم للمستقبل بالنسبة للمحطة بتاعنا الإذاعة. هندخلوه بأي طريقة. يعني احنا ما نستفيد برانا لان راجع جزء مننا. هيكون في ريلي، جهاز ريلي ريبيتر هيكون هناك في راجع نعمل برنامج هنا هم بيستفيدوا هناك.
So for UNESCO, I want to emphasize that through this project from Japan and JICA, we acknowledge the importance of access to information. Access to information is very important as we are building a democratic country. Access to information facilitates participation, accountability. It also promotes debates from the public. So as journalists in the room, I want to encourage you that let's promote access to information during elections and any other national events that are.
A recently completed healthcare facility intended to be a cornerstone of community resilience in Mogiri Boma of Gondokoro Payam remains largely inoperable, missing essential equipment and personnel necessary to serve the local population. The primary healthcare unit, a component of the government of South Sudan's Enhancing Community Resilience and Local Governance project, represents a significant investment in local health care. SSBC's Stewart Abugo reports.
For the community of Moriboma, access to healthcare remains a daily struggle despite a newly built facility. A recent inspection has laid bare critical deficiencies, from a lack of essential drugs to no transport for staffs. In a response, Central Equatorial State Health Minister Nejwa Mursal and Juba County Commissioner Emmanuel Tete have publicly vowed to rectify the situation, pledging to transform what is currently an empty structure into a functioning lifeline.
كل من الليجو كان من WHO كان من وزارة الصحة كان من منظمات الثانية إحنا بنحاول لازم أن بيجيبوا دواء في examination bed de kama taruhusu ya tiji irejibini la examination bed table le wala albukutuko zoli ara betahesore
nina kanamo le ilajini pesa helena kwa koma laanu zola hasa kana yani ni bijeremo la bumbo ma beja te bayan beja fi zaman barabara wa yan mumkin beja sawahid bilal mumkin beja sakam anehna bardo fi level betana na binaqdar nawfiru kajiba ka lakini ya zol albuazawini anehna fi county ma bisiba anna biamul lo takhsis fi haja fi kullu shahr au fi kullu usbu na betala ashan yashajja wala shokol tandezo rajil alikuwa jiboeni shakal na be offer lo mota ma senke wala bajaja shama hadidu ma yishla bijibo motor shoya kibira alshikil to barao ande harame zare tajere monna be aruf na be gobudita.
As the community also highlights the devastating impact of flooding, the clock is ticking for these commitments to become reality.
أنا بدي شكرا لحكومة بتاعنا بتاع ولاية بدي المكتب بتاع محافظة بدي شكرا لوالي بتاعنا جد الله مويا حسا كمان عمل لنا كارثة.
Kasana dede kufutu maja be korbe ina wali bija sambala jeri taade juata nini waga agata nina bakuru juke basali.
For the community of Moreboma, the promise of this healthcare facility offers a glimmer of hope. However, the translation of this commitment into tangible action is crucial to transform an empty structure into a functioning lifeline for the people it was built to serve. In another development, the Joint Committee, joined by the Minister of Housing, Land and Public Utilities, David Morbe, also held discussion with citizens in Garbu village, focusing on a collaborative efforts to address land issues within the state. For SSBC News, I am Stewart Abugola Suba reporting.
Let's go for yet another short break. Please do stay with us because we have more stories still ahead. Welcome back from that short break, and if you have just joined us, you are watching SSBC News at 1 with me, Duku Wilson. Moving on, the Chinese medical doctors who are currently in South Sudan have begun conducting a public lecture on hepatitis B virus for students at Ayi University, focusing on causes of the virus, the virus and its effects on human health. Speaking to the media after the lecture on Wednesday, IE University's Vice Chancellor Dr. Isaac Ayi says the program is aimed at educating students on the hepatitis B virus and how they could help to carry out awareness to the public regarding the effects of the virus on human health. Chinese medical laboratory scientist Wang Hu described hepatitis as a dangerous disease that can easily damage the liver function if not treated at the early stage. General practitioner Michael Deng outlines other multiple services the Chinese medical team is providing at Juba Teaching Hospital.
Hepatitis B is one of the major threats, especially when it is in a complication stage. Liver is a very important organ in the body, and once it's damaged, you'll not be able to survive. And we know a living human being is a contributing human being, economically, physically, socially, and in every way they contribute to the nation building. So we better prevent hepatitis B so that we can contribute to our nation as living people who are living. So out there, we should know how to prevent hepatitis B through physical route, through blood transfusion, through sexual intercourse. So if we know how to prevent those routes, then we shall have prevented.
Liver is very important for our body. It can reduce the toxin and produce not protein and enzymes. How to diagnose is very based on laboratory testing. We have serologic, for example, HBsAg, HB and antibody research. We have PCR. We can test viral load. Yes. Also, we need to monitor liver function. We have liver function routine. For example, ALT, AST, and protein and bilirubin. So, if you found you have dangerous activities, maybe you need to test hepatitis as earlier as possible.
In Juba Teaching Hospital, we have an ENT department, we have a dermatology department, we also have internal medicine department, we have surgical and gynecology department. So we do work on our clinics every Tuesday and Friday, from morning hours to afternoon hours. And we also do have operation session. We have operations for free, of course. Every Monday we have operation for free. So if you have that chance, please, you have any condition related to ENT, we are here to call you to come to us, Juba Teaching Hospital, main building, emergency department, 3rd floor. You will get us there, and we will see you. And if you are qualified for operation, we'll do operation for free, and anything will be possible. For the surgical department, we also do some operation like hernia. If you have hernia, hemorrhoids, some lumps, any swelling of the abdomen, or at the back, or wherever it is, please.
Authorities of Juba City Council have completed the first stage for Gudele Low Kubri Haboba Road rehabilitation and construction of drainage system. Speaking to the media weeks after rehabilitation campaign, Central Equatoria State Minister of Roads and Bridges Clement Maring Samuel appreciates the efforts of Juba City Council and highlighted the importance of enhancing traffic movement in the residential areas, assuring the public the ministry's commitment to collaborating with the City Council to improve the drainage system. The Mayor of Juba City Council, Johnson Swoka Hasi, also reiterated the City Council's dedication to upgrading internal roads with support from Roads and Bridges Ministry. Representing Traffic Police, Major Arman Desaram appreciates the cooperation between Juba City Council and road users, which he says is important to pave way for the success of this first stage of the road rehabilitation.
On behalf of the acting governor of Central Equatoria State, I want to congratulate the mayor and his team for putting effort actually to clear the potholes in this portion of the road, which has made people stuck for and made public outcry. We are very much happy for the quick response of the Juba City Council and its technocrats, and we want to appreciate that whenever there is an outcry of the public, they will always rush on and save the people.
مبروك للمواطنين بتاع جبال ساكنين في جبال وساكنين لحد جبل دنكا ساكنين في غرب مدينة جوبا. أنا مبسوط أنه هم الليلة يتمتعوا بالطريقة الجديدة. نحن دي حصل المرحلة الأولى بتاع الطريقة اللي نحن اشتغلناها. المرحلة الثانية من يوم الثلاثاء الجاي نحن نبدأ بناء بتاع المجاري، لكن نحن بنبدأ بمجاري والطريق شغال. ما بنقف. وأنا نقول ألف مبروك للمواطنين، وإن شاء الله ربنا يساعدنا كل وقت إن احنا نقدم خدمات جديدة للمواطنين. أنا ماجا إلمنت جسير مزكية، أنا سكال في لو جنسون. سوكل حسن هنا استقل بارتنرشيب مع سيتي كانسل. سوكل تنا بجيد. نينا ما عندي أي مشكلة. أسا كان نينا لبيتا بتا سيكا. أسا عملوا مندرس. سيكا بيجا كويس. يعني أنا طلب من سواجين كل ما يكون الكل استقل بنظام. عايز يقول ما يكون بري سورة. ودوري السورة ده ما كويس. زول يتسم يكون زول عنده أخلاق كويس. عنده علاقة مع.
South Sudan Islamic Council's delegation led by Secretary General Sheikh Dr. Abdallah Barajrual has left Juba for pilgrimage in Saudi Arabian city of Mecca. Prior to his departure, Baraj wishes Muslims a blessed Hajj and divine gift in paradise.
باسم المجلس الإسلامي مكتب شؤون الحجاج أن نتقدم إليكم بتهنئة خالصة أن من الله عليكم أن اليوم تغادرون إلى أراضي مقدسة، وهذا بتوفيق الله تعالى لكم، وربنا ييسر لكم بعد سنوات طويلة من توقف حيث لم نجد السنوات الماضية يعني ما تيسر لنا عشان يمشوا الناس من جنوب السودان في الأراضي المقدسة بعد سنتين من تعذر ذهاب الوفود من جنوب السودان. فنشكر الله تعالى، نشكر الله تعالى الذي وفقكم وشرفكم ليمشي الآن هذه سنة حوالي فوجين، لأنه بذهابكم ده بوري أن المكتب شؤون الحجاج قادر على تنظيم الحج وعلى تحقيق رغبات المؤمنين الذين عن كل مسلم يتطوق نفسه عشان يمشي أراضي مقدسة. ما في مسلم ما يقدر يمشي أراضي مقدسة، فعشان كده ربنا ناداكم هذه الكوكبة ومشيكم ده معناه انتوا اسقطتم الاثم.
And this story brings us to the end of this news bulletin at 1. From me, Duku Wilson, and my colleagues here at SSBC, we all thank you for watching, and please do continue with the rest of our programs. Good afternoon.
In the beautiful Juba, there is a courtyard restaurant from the east. The courtyard is a treasure of traditional